hearts in WhatsApp. Hey, YouTube, how are you doing? And that takes you there.
Transaction solutions.
I'll see if I can get it.
All right.
Smooth 90.1, love music, love life. It's a Feel Good Friday today. It's time for Business Express 981. In fact, it's Tech Friday. I always look forward to Tech Fridays. And of course, leading us through conversations as always this morning is Rotus. Rotus, good morning.
Good morning, Kayode. Good morning to all our listeners, and good morning to Fisayo Durajai, investment professional with Echo VC Partners. Fisayo, good morning.
Hi, Fisayo. Good morning.
Good morning, Kayode. Good morning, Lakers. Good morning, everyone.
All right, everybody, we're streaming live on YouTube, so please check out our YouTube feed. It's youtube.com/smooth91FM Lagos. And also, you can send your WhatsApp messages to 0809-444-0981 to be a part of our conversation this morning. So what are we talking about, guys?
We're talking about fundraising across Africa in the month of January. We're talking about Nigeria driving a video game revolution, if you will, or driving video game adoption across Africa. And yeah, I think that's it. I think those are the two main things to do. Oh, and then STEM graduates, science, technology, engineering, and math. The graduates, we got some data from the National University Commission from 2019, showing graduates in different disciples. I think it links to video games. There's playing video games, and then there's making them. And we need more Nigerians making these games. So, Fisayo, there's, I think you shared some data in our little tech group that we have where we talk about all this stuff. Looks like there's been a record number of fundraising from tech companies or tech startups across Africa, Nigeria, Uganda, Kenya, South Africa, Tunisia. What do you make of it? Kayode, if you can share the screen, there should be the graph should be on the WhatsApp page if you get the chance. But yeah, Fisayo, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. It's I don't know. It's a lot of money going into solving real problems, right? When I looked at some of the startups, from the biggest $100 million raise to the smallest $1-something million raises, right? I mean, when I calculated all, it's close to about $400 million already in the month of January. Wow. Announced. It doesn't mean that the deals were done in January, but it means that they were announced in January, right? So that's some cash going into solving problems using technology, and I think that's pretty impressive, right? I mean, the growth of funding to tech startups across Africa has been impressive over the last couple of years, and of course, it's been year-on-year growth of the number of startups being funded, and of course, by the amount of money going into some of these startups as well, right? So I think it's just pretty impressive that, yes, we're having all of these conversations. But of course, like I always said, right, a fundraising announcement is great to announce great fundraising round of fundraisers. But more importantly is the fact that, yes, people have given you this money. It's a trust. For the pretty early stage thing, is more trust than anything. But for the latter stages, it's like, yes, this company can still deliver value to me going forward. Right. So it means that the founders have a responsibility to the investors that give them money to ensure that they help deliver value or create more value for these investors, right? So someone that gave you $100 million is hoping to turn the $100 million to $1 billion. How do you turn $100 million to $1 billion? By you growing from, $1 billion to $10 billion. That's what it means, right? So it means that you're still pushing for more. You're still ensuring that you're getting a lot more opportunities, you're executing fearlessly, and then you're growing rapidly, right? So that's what it takes to do that. So I'm not always excited. I mean, I'm excited with fundraising announcement, but more importantly, I'm thinking about the work that needs to be done to ensure that you deliver value to the people that give you money at each of these funding rounds. And I think it's just what I want founders to keep in mind, rather than just the excitement of today of, yeah, we raised this amount, we raised that amount, But it's great confidence that people are having in the African ecosystem, and then we continue to see this growth. Must continue to deliver value.
Fisayo, fantastic stuff. I hope these startups can do something about our light situations where they can raise enough money to change the electricity supply in this country. But Is Nigeria leading the way for fundraising?
Of course, Nigeria is always leading the way. I mean, right now, the largest round has been announced is an Egyptian deal, which is fine, right? But I know that, I mean, Nigeria has been the leader over the last 3 years, and I don't think that's about to change now, right? And that's because, of course, there are a lot more startups from Nigeria. Nigeria is a huge market, right? And all the other fearlessness that comes with Nigerian founders. I mean, this is not to say that other African founders are not as fearless or are not fearless enough, but I think that we've seen examples of big successes from a lot of Nigerian founders. So we've seen, the Paystack, we've seen Flutterwave, we've seen, just big companies into Switch being built from Nigeria. And I think Nigerians think that if GB can do it, I can. GB does have two heads. Nigeria has this, competitive type spirits in them, right? Like if this guy can do it, I've heard the founder say something like, okay, if this guy can build this company this big, right? I'm smarter than him, right? I can build something bigger, right? So again, Nigerians are quite competitive, right? So I think that is happening. And then of course, because I think we've milked that market size a lot, like how big the Nigeria opportunity is. And of course, startups have not necessarily disappointed in delivering value. Of course, I complain that yes, most of the businesses that are being built now non-Nigerian business that are Lagos and Abuja businesses, because a lot of them cannot work outside of Nigeria, outside of these big cities. But of course, I've seen, agency banking prop up, where, the biggest opportunities are not within the cities, where the real problem of getting cash is when you get to your, to your tier 3, towns and villages. How do you get money ahead? Then cash becomes important. And that's a national business, you understand? But again, the problem with that is that it's a national business because it can work across Nigeria, but it might not be international in approach because it's difficult to find. I'm not sure how many other African countries have similar, card penetration, POS type penetration across. So there are different, things that you have to deal with in trying to build the kind of startups I want to build. If you're a Lagos and Abuja business, it means if you can solve a Lagos and Abuja problem, you can probably solve an Accra problem. You can probably solve a Nairobi problem. You can probably solve a Cape Town or Joburg problem. So do you understand? So there are different ways to think about, these businesses as you continue to grow. But essentially, it's like, yes, everyone is putting their hands in deck, and of course, investors are backing and believing in the Nigerian story.
Yeah, nice. Very encouraging there. May the money continue to roll in.
May the money continue to roll in.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Video games,
there, by the way. Before you jump in, Fisayo.
Sorry,
yes.
Go ahead.
Yes, before you jump in, Fisayo, just to remind our listeners where they can send their messages to. It's WhatsApp 0809-444-0981. And also, please, we're streaming live on YouTube still. It's youtube.com/smooth91FM Lagos. I'm particularly interested about this video gaming industry as well. So, Fisayo, what do you want to share with us in this?
Oh, okay. On video games. Yes.
So, video games.
I guess that skill suggests that yes, Nigeria is leading the way in video games. And we are to a large extent, putting a lot more also in playing the video game, and of course, building more video games, right? I think that works, as case might be. But again, I remember growing up, right, when parents are particularly concerned about their children playing video games during school hours, right? I mean, there's a barber shop that boys used to go to then that, they'll play PS2, that was what we had then. And use their lunch money to play games rather than come for afternoon lessons. They go and play games, all of that. So parents complained about the effect of video games on us younger people then. But now looking back and saying that yes, if you're not exposed to that, it is that experience that is building what we have today around the metaverse. How you can then physically have avatars then that move around. So I guess the summary of the story is that yes, Nigeria is building a lot of video games because, of course, Nigerians are playing a lot of video games, and I think that's not far from the truth.
So what about this data from the National Union of Universities on graduates in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math? Computing in particular is kind of low. Playing video games is one thing. Making video games is another. What do you think make of us being able to make more video games?
I mean, it's a technology problem, right? It's a technology problem. It's a resources problem. I don't think it's a people problem, but I think it's a resources problem. It's an infrastructure problem, internet power, and all of that. But also, I don't think that, I mean, we focused on software type development like coding rather than, animation type stuff. So it means that we have to upskill around those skills already, because it takes something different to create an animation. Right. And of course, you need a lot more. I mean, you can think about Pixar type studios where there are, thousands and thousands of animation guys. I mean, I was going to say graphic designers, but we have a lot of graphic designers, yes. But much more than that, it's about building animation and then rendering them, and then ensuring that they are live, all of that kind of stuff. I mean, it's hard. Sorry?
Yeah, go ahead, Kayode. Go ahead. You said something.
We seem to be having a bit of trouble hearing what you're saying because there's a bit of an unstable. You have to please say what you said again now, because there was a bit of an unstable.
Okay, I heard him clearly though. Are you sure it's on your end?
Oh, okay. So I was talking about upskilling around animation production. We've built a lot around software development, coding, back end, front end, and all of that, APIs. But we need to upskill around animation. I'm not sure there are any animation type startups in Nigeria. I'm not sure there are many animation training type institutes, but we're focused more on the software development part of the problem. So I think that is where upskilling will come in, and I'm sure a lot of Nigerians are also interested in this. So I don't think it's a people problem. Like I said, it's just an infrastructure and of course an upskilling problem.
Thanks, Kayode. I said Kayode. Thanks, Fisayo. Fisayo, the disparity, I wish we could, it's a shame we can't share this chart, but this disparity between male graduates and female graduates in sciences, engineering, computing, and so on. We've had this conversation before. Is that, are you concerned? Are you concerned?
No, I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned. People have the right to choose what they want to do. People have the right to choose.
Is it about right to choose? Don't you influence what a child studies in school? I did economics because my dad told me to do economics. Did your parents have no input into what you chose to study?
Of course, parents have, but what I'm doing today, my parents have no input in it. So I'm saying that I can study anything I want to study and become anything I want to become. It's my choice eventually, right? I can't continue to look back and blame my parents for putting me on a track that I don't want. If I don't want the track, I change it. Hello, that's why you're 18 years old and an adult can make your decision yourself, right? I mean, I studied English language for God's sake. I'm in finance today. My parents didn't push me to finance. I pushed myself. I bore the consequences. It was my decision. That's what I decided to do. So these issues around, gender, and of course, when I look at data, basic medical sciences are more female than male. Should we go and reduce the female because we want to get more males in there? There are more males in prison than female. Again, my point is that people have to make a decision about what they want to become, right? As much as possible. And of course, we're making this same mistake that our parents made. I've seen this obsession about parents sending their 3-year-old, 5-year-old to coding, to go and learn coding. The same way our parents wanted us to also study law, engineering, and become doctors. It's the same thing we're doing today. It's totally responsible. Let the child do what he wants to do. Again, it has nothing to do with our agenda. It's about the choice of the child. Let the child choose what he wants to do, so that we're not less worried about where the gender is. I mean, this is. I don't think this is our biggest problem. That across. Right. I don't think it's a gender issue happening here. It's just about the children. Okay, I don't want to study engineering, and I don't want to study engineering. There's no problem with that.
Wow. All right, Fisayo, thank you.
Fisayo, you get the last word. I can't respond.
Thank you.
Fisayo, we'll leave it.
I wish we could respond to that too, but we got a few messages just before we wrap up. Let me just quickly get to those messages. This one from Gilbert Musa says, the startup grant is commendable. More importantly, is just to sustain growth of these emerging startups. like stable electricity, good road networks, stable telecommunication networks, just to mention a few. Then Yinka Bulu comes in to say, Fisai said parents will complain about video games in the past. I laugh in French. I have a PS4 at home, and now you need to see the kind of eye my wife looks at me with whenever I carry the gamepad. She goes and says, at your age, you're still playing video games. See, it's about that gender. And then this one here says, Fisai mentioned money is giving to those raising funds in trust. I'm just wondering how the donors will recoup their investment, if any. Okay.
Very quickly, Fisai, very quickly. How do you recoup your money as an investor in a startup? Very quickly.
Exits, it means that the company has to be very big to be sold to IPO, to sell to secondaries, and then you make money back.
All right. Fisai, share your Twitter.
All right.
Aremo Fisai.
All right, you guys follow Fisai there. Fisai, as always, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate you. And thanks for all your messages. Kayode, thank you as well. See you guys on Monday.
Thank you, Rotus. Thank you, Fisai. Lagos, there's more to come. That's our show. This is Business Express. In a few more minutes, it will be time for Freshly Pressed 981. So please